It is Friday, the 4th of September 2020, and this week the Indian community was hit hard when two reported cases of pedophilia descended upon the Indian community and basically set social media on fire like an atom bomb dropping on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The Indian community was outraged, and being Indians in South Africa, they decided to take to Facebook to debate the topic. Debate. Got no proper thought process, no rationality in their thinking, nothing of that sort, but they still insist on debating. While some comments carried good merit and was carefully constructed, some were absolutely outrageous. The best things we as Indians can come up with: he must get what he deserves. Lock him up and throw away the key. That's, I mean, what else you expect them to do? That you stating the obvious. Thank you for that. But you know what? We are in 2020 and we still haven't adapted our mindset and our thinking and our approach to handle these situations. Look, things were different growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s for me. I mean, we spent most of our time on the road playing cricket, playing soccer, riding our bikes with the other neighborhood kids. But if something were to go wrong, it would happen that time because we were always on the road. We were easily accessible. We were vulnerable. And if someone wanted to kidnap us and abduct us and do these things to us, it was much easier then to do than it is now. Not really. See, we didn't have electronics, we didn't have the internet. We were innocent, although we were naughty kids. I mean, scraping our knees and busting our elbows and all these things, but we were not exposed to the internet, to Facebook, to Instagram, to wherever, any other social media platform, and made ourselves accessible to these perverts, basically. And kids of today, I haven't seen kids playing on the road in a very long time. I don't know about your community, but where I live, nothing, dead. Died off probably 10 years ago, even maybe 15, but yeah. So kids these days, they don't go out on the road, they don't do the activities that we used to do, they don't engage in that. They sit indoors, PlayStation, Xbox, tablets, cell phones, you name it, that's what they do, all internet based. How then are they becoming targets and victims and making themselves accessible to these psychotic and disturbed, deranged pedophiles? And yes, pedophilia is apparently a psychological disorder. Now, I can't for the life of me understand why a kid under the age of 16 really requires a cellular device or a mobile device with access to the internet. I can't for the life of me, but it's open to discussion, and if you as a parent feel it is absolutely necessary to give your child a mobile device, then you know what, do it. But here's the thing: as a parent, you need to be monitoring the activity, the online activity of your child. You need to be checking the browser history, call logs, monitoring the messaging apps. You need to be doing this random inspections, not like, okay, every Friday I'm going to do this for you. No, you need to be absolutely random. Give them no room to maneuver or to back out of a situation. Now, this week, one of the cases was a 13-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-old girl that was taken away by her 34-year-old neighbor. Now, I did some stalking last night, and I came across all his Facebook profiles, right? And I went through each one. I looked at the comments, I looked at the uploads, I looked at the posts. It's all some are relatively private, but the public stuff I did go and investigate. And then I had a look at his friends list. Now, each one of these Facebook profiles that he has about 300 to 1,200 friends on that list. Most of them, or at least 90% of them, are minors under the age of 16. And I had a look at their comments on his posts and his comments on their posts and their responses to it. And I nearly collapsed and died of cardiac arrest. I couldn't make it, I couldn't handle it. So here's the thing. Indian people are relatively conservative, right? We shy away from these topics and subject matters. We don't discuss it. Like, nobody discussed all this with me, but then again, we were off a different time. Now, as a parent, you are responsible, or a legal guardian, you are responsible for the safety, the well-being, and overall looking after of the child. So it is your responsibility to do that. It is your function. It is nobody else's job to do it. It's your baby. Okay? So you need to sit down from an early age. Obviously, subject matter and content of the conversations will differ from age group to age group, but you need to be having the conversations along the lines like, this is appropriate behavior, this is not appropriate behavior, this is inappropriate conversation content that a stranger should be having with you or will have with you. And when this happens, this is what you need to do. You need to report it to me and raise those flags, those red flags. You need to do it. They need to be comfortable enough to do that with you. You know? Indians are generally conservative, like I said, so they need to be comfortable enough to do it. It's no one else going to do it. You got to do it as a parent or a legal guardian. It's your duty to do it. I will be uploading more videos like this in due course of similar content in terms of child safety and this pedophilia thing. But yeah, I hope you have watched it and you have understood the content of this video.